American explorer Victor Vescovo descended nearly 11 kilometers into the Mariana Trench.
When even the most explored parts of the oceans are still brimming with mysteries. The deepest part has got to be a terrifying place. From frightening creatures, mysterious remains to chilling UFO sightings. Dive along for the wildest encounters recorded at Mariana Trench that shocked the whole world. A fishing boat off the coast of Galicia, Spain, caught some crazy footage. A UFO being chased by fighter jets. The UFO zipped through the sky, dodging the jets. And just when things got intense, it did the unexpected. It dove straight into the water. Like, you can't catch me now! Maybe aliens know all our secrets. Or maybe they just have a secret portal to another dimension hiding deep in the ocean. Who knows? Maybe next time, the jets will need scuba gear. What do you think happened? Drop your thoughts in the comments! Art adventure. These divers in the Atlantic came across something truly unique. 200 life-sized human sculptures standing eerily still beneath 46 feet of water. This isn't the lost city of Atlantis, but rather Europe's first underwater museum. Alongside the haunting figures, they also found a towering 100-foot wall and a sculpture of a boat, adding to the wonder. This underwater museum is a haven for art lovers and marine lovers alike. Over time, sea creatures have claimed these sculptures as home, transforming them into vibrant reefs. It's a magical spot where creativity and nature collide, creating a mesmerizing underwater escape for those lucky enough to visit. Underwater Alien Base. In this video, a scuba diver exploring the deep ocean stumbles upon something straight out of a sci-fi movie. Resting on the seabed is a massive, mysterious structure. It's not just any sunken debris, it's glowing. Lights are on, and an entrance-like opening adds to the eerie vibe. Some say it could be an ancient UFO, still operational after 20 million years. If this isn't enough to give you chills, consider this. Over 80% of the ocean remains unexplored. Could this be proof that we're not alone, even underwater? Or is it just a wild coincidence? Either way, this discovery is fueling some wild theories. Lost in Truck Lagoon. The San Francisco Maru is one of the most famous wrecks in Truck Lagoon. During World War II, Japan took it over, and in 1944, it was bombed and sunk by U.S. aircraft during Operation Hailstone. Now lying 65 meters underwater, the ship still holds its wartime cargo: battle tanks, trucks, torpedoes, and even munitions. It's like a time capsule from the past, sitting there quietly with all its gear. The ship is a popular dive spot today, giving divers a chance to explore history. But if you're hoping to find treasure, you might want to check somewhere else. Aliens in ocean. In this video, a group of scuba divers was deep in the ocean when they came across something insane, an actual UFO, shaped like a saucer, sitting at the bottom of the sea. They shined their torches on it and took a good look, but decided it was too risky to explore further. Now, they're planning to come back for more research. Aliens chilling underwater, huh? What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Hidden chest.
Next tonight, the million-dollar treasure found after a decade-long search, a chest believed to be filled with gold coins.
In 2010, a writer from New Mexico kicked off an epic treasure hunt by hiding a chest filled with gold and jewels in the Rocky Mountains. Then he wrote a poem with clues to help people find it, and the prize was worth around $1 million. For 10 years, adventurers searched high and low trying to crack the code. Finally, in 2020, someone found the treasure chest. It's proof that sometimes a simple idea can turn into a huge adventure. And who wouldn't want to stumble upon a treasure chest in the mountains, right? 1980 shipwreck.
I think everyone was staggered by the fact that it covered such a large area.
In 1980, the MV Derbyshire, the largest British ship ever lost at sea, went down in the Pacific. Fast forward 17 years, and investigators sent a remote camera vehicle 2.5 miles underwater to uncover what happened. When they found the wreck, they were stunned. Twisted metal and debris scattered everywhere, with the bow and stern separated by a huge distance. The ship seemed to have shattered into thousands of pieces, almost like it was torn apart by an unseen force. What caused the massive destruction? It's a mystery that still baffles experts today.
And so the wreckage on the seafloor was just huge pieces of ship twisted by energy that just is almost impossible to imagine.
Mysterious Baltic UFO. Back in 2011, the Ocean X team made an incredible discovery at the bottom of the Baltic Sea, a strange object that looked a lot like a UFO. The so-called Baltic Sea anomaly caught everyone's attention, and divers even went down to explore it. They recorded every inch of the mysterious craft. But the big question still remains. Where did it come from? Some say it's extraterrestrial, while others think it might just be a weirdly shaped rock. Either way, it's definitely one of the coolest underwater discoveries out there. Who knows? Maybe it's a secret alien getaway spot. Earhart's plane found?
An aircraft, for one, and two, that it's not Amelia's aircraft.
Amelia Earhart's disappearance in 1937 has been one of the greatest mysteries in aviation history. But now, after all these years, an explorer thinks he might have found her plane. Using high-tech sonar equipment, Tony Romeo and his team discovered something 16,000 feet underwater near Howland Island, where Earhart was headed for a refueling stop. The image looks like an aircraft, and the design matches Earhart's plane. So, is this finally the clue that solves the mystery? Well, we're all waiting for a closer look with cameras. Maybe the truth is deeper than we thought.
There's no other known crashes in the area, and certainly not of that era, and that kind of design with the tail.
Historic dive.
One of the torpedoes caused a crack in an aviation fuel supply.
The wreck of the USS Lexington, a famous aircraft carrier sunk in WWII, has finally been found 76 years later. The ship was discovered deep underwater, 3,000 meters below the surface, off the coast of Australia. The team, funded by Microsoft co-founder Paul Allen, used his personal research ship to locate and film the wreck. And what they found is incredible. One of the ship's massive 54 caliber Mark 45 is still visible, but much of the ship has been lost to time and the deep. Resting quietly on the seabed, this legendary carrier reminds us of the sacrifices made during the Battle of the Coral Sea.
These sailors on the Lexington died in order to hold the line so that the United States could get ready for war.
Titanic shipwreck. In July 1986, Robert Ballard and his team made a historic dive to the Titanic wreck 12,500 feet below the surface, a year after they discovered it. When they found it, the shipwreck was in surprisingly good shape, but not as intact as when it sank in 1912. The Titanic had broken into two main pieces, with the bow and stern scattered across the ocean floor. The cold, dark waters had caused the ship to rust and decay over time, and huge chunks of the ship had collapsed under pressure. Still, the wreck was a powerful sight, one that revealed the beauty and mystery of the famous ship's final resting place. Into cursed waters.
How does a 500-foot vessel just go missing? Vanishes with no distress call. For us, the disappearance of the Marine Sulphur Queen is a Bermuda Triangle mystery that our team truly wants to solve.
Two professional divers took on one of their toughest dives yet, searching for the wreck of the Marine Sulphur Queen in the Bermuda Triangle. The wreck lies deep 400 feet underwater and is barely visible in the dark. When the divers reached the wreck, they found it mostly intact, with damage likely from an explosion. But here's the twist. No sulfur or huge tanks were found. After a closer look, they suspected it might be the Joseph M. Cudahy, another ship sunk during WWII by a German U-boat. It's still a mystery, but the divers might have just solved one part of the Bermuda Triangle puzzle.
The whole main deck is just eaten through. She's lying on her starboard side. She's probably obscuring any torpedo damage from the original attack. I think we're highly certain that this is the wreck of the Joseph M. Cudahy.
Shipwreck discovery. In 2022, some divers found and explored the Plavi Jadran, a shipwreck near Pervich Island in the Adriatic Sea. Though the ship sank in 2018, its weathered state makes it look as if it's been resting underwater for decades. Found at a depth of 20 meters, the ship is surrounded by crystal clear waters with visibility up to 20 meters and a cozy temperature of 21 degrees Celsius. Marine life has already begun claiming the wreck as their own, adding vibrant life to its haunting appearance. The sight is both eerie and beautiful, like nature taking back its territory. Drop a comment below if you'd like to dive into this underwater scene. Mysterious blue glow. Two fishermen had quite the story to tell after a trip near Ridge Sur Beach in Puerto Rico. While drifting in shallow waters, they spotted an eerie, glowing blue light under the waves. So, of course, curiosity kicked in, and they steered closer, probably thinking the glow was intense, almost otherworldly. And as they leaned in for a better look, they noticed something even stranger, a reflection of what looked like a man in the water. Feeling the growing spookiness, they decided to head back to shore. Whatever it was, it's still a mystery lurking beneath the waves. China's Atlantis. Deep in Qiandao Lake in China, an ancient city, Xicheng, was hidden beneath the water for centuries. People thought it was lost forever, but brave divers recently discovered it. The city, also called the Lion City, is full of old buildings, stunning carvings, and stone lions guarding its entrances. It's like stepping into a time capsule. Named after nearby Wuxi Mountain, the city has now become a must-see for divers. It's like discovering Atlantis, only with lions instead of mermaids. Lost silver ship. Deep in the murky waters of the Atlantic, explorers made a jaw-dropping discovery: the sunken SS Gairsoppa, a World War II cargo ship carrying a huge amount of $200 million worth of silver. Sunk by a German U-boat in 1941, this shipwreck had been hiding its secrets for decades. When the team found it, excitement was through the roof. They carefully explored the site, snapping photos and collecting notes. The massive stash of silver and the ship's wartime history captured everyone's imagination. Historians, divers, and treasure hunters alike. This find isn't just about riches, it's also a glimpse into the past. Deep sea mystery. Back in 2002, a remotely operated vehicle off Sanriku, Japan, caught something truly strange on camera. While filming a squid, an unidentified object zoomed past in the background, and it was glowing and moving so incredibly fast. Some think it could have been a bioluminescent squid jetting away at 40 kilometers per hour, but the brightness and speed seem off for anything natural. Others suspect it might be a USO, basically an underwater UFO, or even a secret drone. Whatever it was big, bright, and baffling. So, what do you think it was? Let me know in the comments below. Perseus wreck. In 1941, the British submarine Perseus was on a mission when it struck a mine off Kefalonia and sank, taking 60 men down with it. But one man, John Capes, survived an unbelievable escape. After finding the escape hatch and using a special device, he ascended from 52 meters deep and swam to shore. Once found by villagers, Capes spent 18 months in hiding before escaping to safety. The wreck itself now rests at the bottom of the Ionian Sea, where these divers have found the eerie remains, old equipment, tanks, and even the submarine's propellers still intact. It is also one of the most creepy dive sites in the Ionian Sea. German shipwreck. A group of deep-sea divers made an amazing discovery when they found a 70-year-old German cargo shipwreck off the coast of Ukraine in the Black Sea. The ship, believed to have sunk during WWII, was surprisingly well preserved, thanks to the cold, deep waters. Divers also found remnants of old military cargo, including equipment and even parts of the ship's structure still standing. It's like stepping back in time. With its rusted metal and eerie silence, the wreck looks like something straight out of a history book. So, if you ever wanted to dive into the past, this wreck might just be the closest you can get. Ocean sinkhole. Imagine riding a ferry and suddenly spotting something so bizarre it feels so otherworldly. Well, that's exactly what happened to a woman in Hong Kong. She captured a video of the ocean behaving, well, not very ocean-like. Instead of its usual calm, the water appeared to be draining into a sinkhole in the middle of the sea. Yep, just like pulling the plug in your bathtub, but on a massive scale. She asked around, but no one had answers. So, was it a freak natural phenomenon? Maybe a hidden whirlpool or underwater currents at play? Whatever it was, it's one mystery, leaving us all scratching our heads. Yonaguni Monument. Off the coast of Yonaguni, Japan, divers stumbled upon an incredible underwater formation that left everyone guessing. Featuring flat surfaces, sharp edges, and step-like designs, some believe it's the remains of an ancient city submerged thousands of years ago. Others argue it's just a natural phenomenon, rocks shaped by currents over time. When the findings were reported, a marine geologist supported the idea that these were man-made stepped structures. However, the government hasn't officially recognized the site as a cultural treasure. Despite this, the Yonaguni Monument continues to fascinate divers and visitors from around the world. Sunken treasure. Ever thought about uncovering a hidden treasure? Well, Italian fishermen near Genoa got pretty close. While casting their nets, they pulled up pieces of ancient pottery, sparking curiosity about what lay below. To investigate, police divers sent down an underwater robot to explore the seabed. About 60 to 70 meters deep, they made an extraordinary find, a 2,000-year-old sunken ship. Even more exciting, the ship was packed with clay jars called amphorae, once used to transport olive oil across the sea. And some of these jars were still sealed. This discovery offered a unique glimpse into ancient trade that had been preserved for millennia. Dwarka, India. Did you know that a city once thought to be mythical turned out to be real? That's exactly the case with Dwarka, India. In 2007, India's National Institute of Oceanography conducted underwater excavations near modern Dwarka. What they found was mind-blowing. Artifacts like pottery, bones, and even structural remains of an ancient city. Experts believe this city could be over 9,000 years old and once home to around 10,000 people. Mentioned in religious texts, this underwater discovery feels like unlocking a long-lost chapter of history. Dwarka is truly a historian's dream. Sea mines. In the coastal waters of Germany and parts of Europe, an unusual job involves carefully recovering old items left behind from past wars. These objects, like sea mines and other munitions, rest quietly on the ocean floor, but can become a problem if disturbed by anchors or equipment. Aside from being a safety concern, these remnants contribute to pollution in the marine environment, impacting sea life and water quality. So these divers, known as sea miners, work in challenging conditions to locate and safely clear these items. It's meticulous work, but it helps protect both the ocean and important shipping routes. This is what you call cleaning up after history. World War II shipwreck. In Truk Lagoon lies the Shinoku Maru, a 500-foot Japanese naval tanker from World War II. This ship, sunk during Operation Hailstone in February 1944, now rests upright on the seabed, transformed into a thriving marine sanctuary. What was once a battlefield relic has become a peaceful underwater haven, with coral and sea creatures taking over its structure. From the engine rooms to the coral-covered deck, divers explore its every corner, uncovering pieces of history frozen in time. Who knew history could look this beautiful underwater? Lake Huron Legacy. In 2014, divers explored the Daniel J. Morrell shipwreck in Lake Huron, and wow, what a find! This freighter, lost during a storm in 1966, is in surprisingly good condition for something resting so deep. Sitting upright like a ghostly monument, the ship seems frozen in time, with intact sections and everything. The divers marveled at the preserved structure, from its cargo holds to its towering bow. Fish now call the wreck home, swimming through its corridors like they own the place. Japanese shipwreck. Divers exploring the Hoki Maru shipwreck at Truk Lagoon were treated to an underwater marvel. This Japanese cargo liner, sunk during World War II, now serves as a breathtaking marine habitat. Its rusted hull and cargo holds have been transformed into vibrant reefs, teeming with marine life. From colorful corals carpeting the deck to schools of fish weaving through its hollow corridors, the Hoki Maru is like an underwater museum and nature's art gallery. The video captures its eerie beauty, showing how history and nature have joined forces to create something truly special. Luxury cars sunk. In 2006, the Cougar Race, a massive cargo ship carrying nearly 5,000 cars, faced a nightmare near Alaska's Aleutian Islands. A ballast water mishap tipped the ship, sending it into a dramatic list. Thankfully, all 23 crew members were rescued by the U.S. Navy and Coast Guard. While the ship was stabilized and towed to safety, the cargo didn't fare so well. The 4,700 Mazdas on board, from shiny sports cars to family SUVs, were declared unsellable. Divers exploring the wreck found rows of vehicles, eerily preserved under layers of marine growth. It's like a haunting underwater parking lot, isn't it? Sunken airplane. In Aqaba, Jordan, an underwater adventure awaits inside the wreck of the Lockheed L-1011 TriStar plane. Sunk intentionally to create an artificial reef, this plane now serves as a surreal underwater playground for both divers and marine life. Swimming through its passenger cabin feels like stepping into a ghostly, sunken time capsule. The wreck is surprisingly intact, with the cockpit, seats, and even overhead compartments still recognizable. Marine life has taken over, with colorful corals and fish giving the plane a second life. It's like an underwater museum, but instead of exhibits, you get fishy co-pilots. Rocket engines. Deep in the Atlantic, 14,000 feet under the waves, the mighty F-1 engines that launched Apollo 11 to the moon have been rediscovered after over 40 years. Thanks to Jeff Bezos' team and some seriously high-tech underwater robots, these relics of space history have been brought back into the spotlight. The engines, which once roared with 7.5 million pounds of thrust, now rest as corroded yet iconic pieces of history. Covered in marine growth and scars from their fiery journey, they're like the Titanic of space exploration. Lucky diver. A simple day of diving turned into a jackpot moment for this lucky diver. Armed with his trusty metal detector, he was cruising through the water when it started beeping like crazy. So, out of curiosity, he dug through the sand and a shiny golden chain emerged. The chain looked like something out of a pirate's dream, glimmering beautifully underwater. Once on land, he had it appraised, and it was worth $700. Not bad for a day's dive. Who knew underwater treasure hunts could actually pay off? Time to grab a detector and head to the beach. Hidden treasure. Off the coast of Florida, a scrub diver came across a find of a lifetime. 51 gold coins and an ancient gold chain. The treasure, worth over $1 million, had been sitting underwater for centuries. The coins had Spanish markings, and the diver connected the dots to stories of a sunken Spanish fleet that lost its riches in a storm. Being a stand-up guy, he handed it over to the marine officials. They confirmed it was treasure from the old fleet and gave him a pretty sweet reward. Looks like some treasure hunts are worth diving into after all. Treasure Tangle. In 2015, the Colombian Navy made an incredible discovery off their coast. A shipwreck believed to be the San Jose. This Spanish ship sank back in 1708 while carrying a huge fortune in gold, silver, and emeralds. The wreck was identified by its bronze cannons, which had dolphin designs. But then, an American company claimed they found the wreck back in the 1980s and said they deserve half of the treasure. Now, the debate over who owns the treasure continues, while San Jose stays tucked away beneath the waves. Guess some treasure hunts never end. Underwater UFO secrets. So, this UFO hunter found something pretty wild on Google Earth. A massive 125-kilometer-long underwater base in the Gulf of California, just 45 miles from Mexico. He's convinced it's an alien base, with huge tubular structures that look way too neat to be natural. The guy, who's a YouTuber, says it's definitely worth exploring. I mean, it's practically in our backyard, right? How have we not checked it out yet? Maybe it's time for a History Channel special. So who's up for an alien treasure hunt? Mysterious UFO sighting. In 2022, a guy in St. Petersburg, Florida, spotted something wild, a UFO flying through the sky. But the strange part was when the glowing blue object suddenly dove straight into the water. He waited for it to come back up, but it never did. He was so convinced it was something from another planet, and even called it extraterrestrial. So, is it a UFO, or just a super cool underwater secret? I guess we'll never know, unless someone else sees it, right? Glowing ocean mystery. A group of fishermen, 2 boats, and the open ocean at sunset. Something is bound to happen. Suddenly, strange sounds echo from the water. Curious, and maybe a bit freaked out, they point their cameras toward the source, and what they see is truly shocking. A cluster of glowing objects hovering just above the water, shining like UFOs gearing up for something. Alien invasion? A secret experiment? No one knows. But the fishermen decided not to stick around to find out. They turned their boats and headed off in a safer direction. Glowing sphere mystery. This video captures something straight out of a sci-fi movie. A massive glowing sphere slowly rising out of the ocean. It shines so brightly that it could easily be mistaken for a second sun. As it ascends, the sphere drifts through layers of clouds in a calm, almost surreal motion before disappearing entirely into the sky. Was it an alien mothership, a secret tech experiment, or just nature playing tricks on us? Whatever it was, it's got everyone scratching their heads. Honestly, if this is how the aliens make their grand entrance, they're definitely doing it in style. What do you think is going on here? Tell me in the comments below.
It looked like it went like through a portal or something.
Underwater UFO? While exploring the ocean's depths, a scuba diver came across something jaw-dropping. A saucer-shaped craft resting silently on the seafloor. Its rusted surface hints at years of abandonment, and its interior tech is long gone. Is this a secret military experiment? Or maybe an alien ship cleverly stashed away? Whatever it is, it sure sparks wild imaginations. The idea of aliens forgetting to clean up their mess feels oddly relatable, like leaving your charger at a friend's house. So, could this be a relic of otherworldly origins? Or is it just a big underwater mystery? Share your theories. Sky to sea. Imagine standing on a cliff, soaking in the ocean view, when, bam, something shiny zooms through the sky. That's exactly what happened to one lucky guy. Grabbing his camera, he managed to zoom in just in time to catch a round, metallic object speeding like a jet. But then, plot twist, it didn't just fly. The thing angled down and dove straight into the ocean at a speed that left everyone stunned. It was like a UFO decided to go scuba diving. The man and nearby onlookers stood frozen, staring at the spot where it disappeared. No splash, no resurfacing, just pure mystery. Egg-shaped UFO. While cruising along the ocean off Atlantic Beach, North Carolina, passengers aboard a boat spotted something totally mind-blowing. A huge black egg-shaped object just floating on the water. There was no boat around, and no one knew what it could be. Was it an alien egg waiting to hatch? Or maybe just a super strange mystery? Whatever it was, it definitely left everyone scratching their heads and questioning everything they thought they knew about the world. And if aliens are laying eggs in the ocean now, we're all in trouble. Alien creature found. This video, taken by a remotely operated vehicle 3,753 feet deep in the Indian Ocean, shows something truly strange. Near a drill well head, a weird creature appears to be transforming. As the ROV thrusters stir up the water, the creature gets caught in the current. It's like watching a deep-sea alien in action. The footage is untouched and was filmed off the east coast of Africa. So what exactly is this creature? Maybe it's a new species, or just something that's really good at hiding in the deep sea. Either way, it's a mystery worth exploring. Sinking of Andrea Doria. On July 25, 1956, the Italian ocean liner Andrea Doria collided with the Swedish MV Stockholm off the coast of Nantucket, causing the Andrea Doria to sink. While the question of who was at fault remains a mystery, the real story here is the incredible rescue operation that followed. Despite the chaos, over 1,600 passengers and crew were saved, which is nothing short of miraculous. The sinking has sparked debates for decades, but one thing's clear: the bravery of the rescuers that night was unforgettable. I guess the ocean wasn't ready to let go of Andrea just yet. And now, let us move on to our subscriber pick of the day. Imagine scuba diving and bumping into, well, aliens! A group of divers claim they discovered a whole underwater civilization deep in the ocean. They spotted UFOs casually parked on the seabed and futuristic buildings that looked straight out of a sci-fi movie. As if that wasn't wild enough, actual aliens were swimming around like they owned the place. The divers managed to get close, but said the creatures didn't seem too bothered. Maybe we're boring to them? Whether it's an alien city or just really creative sea life, this might just be the craziest deep-sea discovery story we've ever heard.